PhD student in the HIT lab here in the University of Canterbury in Christchurch. I'm looking at your faces, and apparently I'm the only one person in this room who is not suffering jet lag. So today I will talk about our paper with the title, Can a Robot Bribe a Human? In this paper we did the measurement of the negative aspects of reciprocity in human-robot interaction. And the thing is, we live in a corrupt world, a world full of embezzlement, blackmail, and extortion, and bribery, of course. And I know these things very well because, I am from Mexico. So, considering these things, we want to investigate if a robot can influence the behavior of a human before ask for help. In other words, bribery. And that could be useful in the future because, robots will require of the humans in order to have at least battery replacements. Here we are. Bribe is one of the simplest acts of corruption, and essentially a corrupt act is a reciprocal act. In the bribery act, we have two agents which are interacting secretly in order that one of them try to influence the behavior of the other in order to obtain certain benefits. So that briber will use money or gifts or donations or discounts or commissions or tips or privileges in order to change the behavior of the others. And of course, there is a potential punishment on that, because usually bribery happens against the law, or at least against the rules. Although this, legally, if you are part of a bribe act, and even if you are not aware about that, you have legal responsibility about that. According to our literature review, gifts are not the most effective way to persuade people. Another interesting fact is that language is very important for bribery. We can use direct language or indirect language. Usually, good bribers are good using the indirect language, which usually is wordy and usually is very subtle. So they use it in order to ask for donations, for instance, or polite requests or treats. It's kind of obvious when we are exposed to this fact because it's not the same thing saying like, hey, I will give you $50 if you accept my paper in this conference, than if you say like, oh, good, I found some money here, so maybe it's yours, maybe, I don't know how it is in my pocket, but, So, considering this, we want to see if the same thing happens with robots, So we decided to make 4 research questions. One is, to what extent people reciprocate towards private robots compared with honest robots? The other one is, to what extent people reciprocate towards robots using indirect language versus robots who are using direct language. Also, we want to know if there is any correlation between the benefits obtained during certain tasks by coming from the robot in order to receive certain number of reciprocations from the human. And the fourth question is how likable are these kind of robots, these kind of behaviors in private robots and honest robots. So in order to know that, we performed an experiment using rock, paper, and scissors game. This is a very good game because it's easy to learn human-robot interaction. It's well known. And also, there is not a dominant strategy on it, so you have the same chances to win, lose, or die during the game. And most importantly is that you can cheat face-to-face or real-time, which is very important in your game because what we did in order to bribe the people is program the robot in order to lose intentionally during the 20% of the rounds during the game. So, if the robot was losing intentionally, the people could get more money. So here's a video about how it works.
Reading your choice. Paper. Who wins? Wait time. Push my foot bumper to continue.
Yeah, this is the honest robot. So we have 4 conditions. We have honest robots, like angels, using direct languages or indirect language. And we also have private robots who were using direct language or indirect language. And then they request for help for a second task. So when the robot was losing intentionally, what we did is in the same round, we wait for the participant losing, like in this image. Then the robot immediately changed its movement, and then the participant get, extra money. And here's how it works.
Reading your choice. Who wins? You choose his rock and change to scissors. Enjoy the fun.
Okay. So then we have a second task. In this task, we intentionally design a task which will be very boring, very repetitive. People will not spend so much time performing this task, although it was an open-ending task. So we asked the people, show some icons to the robot, and the robot could identify them. And then the robot asked if the participant would like to continue. So participants would say yes or no. So imagine this task many times. It's incredibly boring, especially for the experimenter, I guess. Then we did some measurements. We measured the number of wins, the number of reciprocations, which is the number of interactions in the second task, and the likability of the robot. So what we had is this. Robots using direct language and also showing a honest robot where the robots will have more reciprocations at the end of the experiment. And more interestingly, we found a significant interaction effect. And in this significant interaction effect, we can notice that the use of indirect language is beneficial for the bribe robot, but not for the honest robot. Also, we find an inverse correlation between the number of wins and the number of reciprocations, which in other words is more help